The March sun warmed the rolling hills of Willow Ridge, my Minnesota suburb, where my 120-acre ranch sprawled as a beacon of independence. I was herding my goats near the creek when a squad car screeched up, lights flashing, followed by Karen Doyle, the HOA president, clutching her phone and shouting, "Arrest her, she's squatting." She called the cops, claiming my ranch, miles outside her HOA's gated community, was unpermitted, and I was an illegal occupant. Her plan? Scare me off my land to sell it to her developer friends. Karen, a former city planner with a trail of neighbor disputes, had no idea who she'd targeted. What she didn't know was that Maya, a retired wildlife biologist, land trust founder, and owner of Willow Ridge's largest private estate, wasn't in her HOA and never had been. My ranch was deeded to my family, my ownership ironclad, and I preserved it as a wildlife sanctuary. When she sent the cops, I pulled out my title, sparking a police inquiry that exposed her fraud and flipped her scheme on its head. I stood by my goats, phone filming as Karen's smug grin crumbled, neighbors gathering, stunned. This wasn't just a mistake. It was Karen's boldest con, blind to my authority and the law. My biologist calm locked in, a smile spreading. She thought she could evict me? I was about to turn her 911 call into a viral ranch-saving triumph, with my allies and community ready to crush her HOA. Willow Ridge would rally, and Karen's land grab would collapse under my deeds. What unfolded wasn't just me saving my ranch. It was a masterclass in justice, community strength, and legal precision that left Karen's HOA in tatters, her fraud exposed, and my sanctuary untouchable. My title wasn't just paper, it was her downfall, and the sheriff's verdict was charging and fast. Willow Ridge was a spirited Minnesota suburb, its wild meadows, rustic trails, and my Ridge Brew Cafe a defiance of HOA overreach. My 120-acre ranch, a private expanse of forests, pastures, and a creek, lay far beyond the HOA's gated enclave, free from their rules. As founder of the Willow Land Trust, I preserved my estate as a wildlife sanctuary, with my deeds ensuring no developers could touch its biodiversity. I'm Maya, a retired wildlife biologist, Ridge Brew owner, land trust founder, and conservationist who'd thwarted land grabs before. My ranch, with its stone lodge and goat barn, was my haven where I studied native species and ran a small herd. My ownership, documented in county records, was my trump card, backed by permits and a passion for protecting Willow Ridge's ecosystem. My plan to expose Karen's fraud was a calculated move to safeguard my sanctuary. Karen Doyle, early 50s, was a scheming HOA president, her sleek blazer a mask for her greed. She'd fabricated an unpermitted occupancy claim to label me a squatter, hiring 2 lackeys, later identified as Carl Vance and Lisa Holt, local realtors, to back her accusation, alleging my ranch was HOA regulated. Her con was a brazen bid to seize my land for profit, backed by a small HOA clique. Key allies included my cousin, Jamal, a county ranger, my friend Ethan, a botanist, Linda, a councilwoman, and Aisha, a community organizer. Neighbors like Old Man Jenkins, who'd seen the squad car and the Willow Ridge Forum, our online hub, would fuel the fight. Sheriff Carla Ruiz and my lawyer, Samir, were on call. The county land office, where I'd file my deeds, was my fortress. The setting was my creek, a March morning in 2025, with birdsong filling the air. Karen's lackeys taped her eviction notice to my barn, her HOA occupancy order claiming my ranch. My cameras, hidden in the lodge and willows, caught every move. Karen, by the squad car, demanded my arrest, unaware of my ownership. My ranch, private land, was untouchable, and her stunt was a felony. This wasn't just about my home. It was Karen's assault on Willow Ridge's spirit. As I filmed, this fight would ignite a sanctuary revolution. Karen's accusation was a gut punch. "You're a squatter, Maya," she bellowed, filming me as the cops eyed my goats. I stayed calm, handing her a county map showing my ranch's private status. "I own this land, Karen," I said, filming. Her face twitched. She hadn't expected resistance. I called Sheriff Ruiz, who said, False eviction? That's fraud. Jamal texted my deeds. Karen sunk. Ethan sent my trust records, saying, "You're the sanctuary." I confronted Karen, phone rolling. "Your notice is fake, and my cameras caught you." She waived her order, claiming my ranch was unpermitted. I live-streamed. HOA sent cops to my ranch. I'm not in their HOA. Hashtags hashtag HOA calls Maya and hashtag Save Maya's Ranch trended, hitting 11 million views. Aisha streamed from Ridge Brew, showing my deeds. Willow Ridge stands with Maya, she said, hitting 13 million views. Linda handed out flyers about property laws, explaining Maya's ranch is private. Karen's a liar. The forum surged with posts exposing Karen scams, finding sheds, banning gardens. Hashtag HOA calls Maya went global with a tweet. HOA Karen sends cops to rancher, doesn't know she owns the land. Hashtag ranch takedown. Karen rallied her lackeys, shouting, "Arrest her!" But neighbors swarmed, chanting Maya's ranch. Jenkins filmed Vance and Holt, catching their fake badges. I shared my camera feed. Karen stealing my land. The clip hit 180 million views. Jamal arrived, saying she tried to forge county records. We're testifying. His ranger clout shook Karen's crew. Ruiz and her sheriff team rolled up, lights off. Drop the notices. Ruiz ordered Vance and Holt, who froze. Karen screamed, "She's a squatter." But Ruiz held up Jenkins' footage. "You're filing a false report," she said. I live-streamed. Karen's cop scam is busted. I own the ranch. The stream hit 300 million views, with news vans arriving. Comments flooded. Maya's a legend. Karen's done. Linda arrived with a county clerk, announcing Karen's claim is a felony. The crowd chanted ranch free as Karen's lackeys fled. The forum planned a ranch-strong rally at Ridge Brew, with music and land law talks. Karen tried one last lie, claiming the HOA controls my ranch, but Ruiz showed my deeds mine. The stage was set, not just to save my ranch, but to crush her HOA and rally Willow Ridge. Her notice was dead, and my goats grazed on. My creek was a fortress of resolve. Karen stood by the squad car, trembling, as Ruiz questioned Vance and Holt. The livestream hit 500 million views, with hashtag HOA calls Maya and hashtag Save Maya's Ranch trending globally. Neighbors packed my pastures, waving signs, Maya's sanctuary. No HOA froth. News crews broadcast live, anchors calling it a biologist's stand against HOA lies. The willows swayed, and I was ready to bury Karen's empire. Aisha addressed the crowd, voice clear. Maya's ranch is private, HOA exempt. Karen's false report is a felony, caught on camera. She showed my deeds and footage, proving her guilt. Neighbors gasped, sharing the clips online. Linda handed out flyers, saying, Maya and Ethan fight for us. Karen's trespassing. The forum surged. Karen's crushed. Maya's a hero. A viral tweet read, HOA Karen sends cops to rancher, gets sunk by her deeds. Hashtag HOA calls Maya. Karen tried to spin it, shouting, Maya's land's illegal. But Ruiz held up Vance's texts. Karen ordered the notice. You're committing fraud, she said. Karen's face fell. She hadn't known my ownership. National conservation groups joined X, posting, Karen's lies threaten Willow Ridge. Support Maya. The Change.org petition, Save Maya's Ranch, hit 14 million signatures with comments like, Maya's a legend and Karen's done. Linda spoke to reporters, voice firm. Maya's ranch is our soul, and her biologist's skills protect us. Karen's scam threatens Willow Ridge. She announced a council motion to fine the HOA $500,000 and ban false reports. The crowd roared, chanting ranch free. The HOA, financially ruined, leaked emails disavowing Karen. She acted alone. Neighbors blocked the squad car, demanding justice, as Ethan filmed. I grabbed the megaphone, heart racing. Karen thought she could evict me, but I'm not in her HOA, and my deeds say no. I reveal my trust's ownership, protecting the ranch as a sanctuary, and proposed a ranch-strong rally at Ridge Brew, with wildlife tours, music, and a fundraiser for conservation. The crowd cheered, volunteering to testify. I shared online. Karen's scam failed. Join us to save the ranch. The live stream hit 800 million views, with hashtag #RanchStrong trending. Comments flooded. Maya's unstoppable. Karen sunk. Karen made a last stand, yelling at Ruiz, "The HOA's above you." But Jamal revealed task force evidence. Karen's calls to Vance. "You're charged with fraud, trespass, and conspiracy," Ruiz said, cuffing her. The crowd parted, phones filming her walk to the cruiser. Aisha's stream hit 1 billion views, with comments like, "By Karen, ranch wins." News ran headlines. Biologist ranch ownership stops, HOA Karen's cop scam. Ethan organized kids to paint ranch-free signs, while Linda tied it to her council work, saying, "Maya and Aisha guard our wilds." Ruiz cleared the notices, and neighbors guarded my pastures, turning chaos into unity. Linda promised county funding for a Maya's Sanctuary sign, marking my ranch's status. The stage was set for a victory that would save my ranch, end Karen's reign, and show Willow Ridge's power. Karen was cuffed, but what happened next would shock everyone. My pastures pulsed with triumph as Karen, Vance, and Holt were cuffed, their notices confiscated. The livestream hit 1.2 billion views, with hashtag HOA calls Maya and hashtag Save Maya's Ranch trending worldwide. Neighbors filled my ranch, guarding my goats as news crews filmed. I held the megaphone, my roles as biologist, trust founder, and ranch owner a beacon. My deeds our weapon, ready to bury Karen's scam. Ruiz addressed the crowd, voice commanding. Karen Doyle and her accomplices face charges of fraud, trespass, and conspiracy, with up to 7 years. The crowd roared, waving ranch-free signs. Ruiz added, "Maya's ranch is private, and her cameras sealed their fate." Neighbors cheered, phones filming for the forum, where comments surged. "Karen's done. Maya's our queen." Linda took the stage, resolute. "Maya's ranch is our heart, and her biologist skills are our might." Karen's scam was an attack on us all. She announced the council's vote, a $500,000 HOA fine, a ban on false reports, and funding for Ranch Strong. The crowd chanted "Ranch Free" as kids handed me painted acorns, symbols of our win. Ethan showed my deeds, proving my authority. Maya's Sanctuary crushed Karen, like my botany crushed her, he said, sparking applause. I unveiled a Maya's Sanctuary signed sketch, county-backed, to mark my ranch's status. "This ranch is ours, not Karen's," I said, sharing it online, a goat under a willow. The forum erupted. "Perfect. Maya's legacy." Ruiz confirmed the evidence. Cameras, deeds, Vance's texts was airtight. Karen and her crew pleaded guilty, facing jail and a town ban. My digital dossier, videos, deeds, task force logs was handed to the press, ensuring convictions. News ran it live. Biologist ranch ownership stops, HOA Karen's cop scam. The crowd surged, music blaring, as Ranch Strong took shape. I gave a mic to Jamal, who shone. "This is our wild," he said, ranger badge gleaming. "Thank you, Maya." Neighbors hugged him, patrolling my pastures in solidarity. Aisha launched the sign contest, with entries flooding the forum. This wasn't just Karen's defeat. It was Willow Ridge's triumph, proof our land could outshine lies. As dusk fell, my ranch stood proud, my goats secure. Karen's conviction was Willow Ridge's victory. News ran headlines like, "Ranch owner crushes HOA cop scam," and "Maya and Aisha triumph." The livestream hit 5 billion views, with hashtag #RanchStrong trending for weeks. Fan art of my goats as sanctuary guardians flooded the forum. Conservation groups invited me to speak, but I stayed humble, saying, "This is about our wilds." Ranch Strong was a sensation. Thousands joined, neighbors, kids, ecologists, touring the sanctuary, dancing, and unveiling the Maya's Sanctuary sign. Ridge Brew catered, and Ethan shared plant data, tying my ranch to Willow Ridge's ecosystem. The event raised $1 million for conservation, and Minnesota declared my ranch a protected sanctuary. The forum buzzed with photos. The wild's live. No more Karens. The HOA collapsed. Linda's law fined it $500,000 and dissolved its board, with new rules mandating county oversight. Karen, Vance, and Holt got 7 years each, banned from Willow Ridge, and vanished. Karen to a city apartment, sued by her developers. Don't call like Karen became a local saying carved on trails. My ranch became a destination, with visitors exploring Maya's sanctuary. Ridge Brew and my cafe sales soared, hosting ranch nights with music and eco-talks. Tourists flocked, boosting revenue. Neighbors gifted me carvings, willows, goats, saying Aisha, and I inspired them. Ethan's research showed the ecosystem thriving, celebrated at ranch feasts. My digital dossier shaped conservation laws, protecting Minnesota's wilds. Aisha led sanctuary tours. Ethan mentored kids with eco-kits. Jamal planned a ranch freedom fest with music, wildlife hikes, and ranger demos. Maya and Aisha saved our wilds, a post read. I hired teens to monitor my cameras, giving them purpose. The forum glowed with pride. At the fest, under a Wild Forever banner, Linda toasted, "To Maya, Aisha, and Willow Ridge, where freedom grows free." Fireworks lit the meadows, kids danced, and my ranch shone. Karen Scam was a breeze, but we'd build a legacy. Ridge Brew, my sanctuary, and our community were our stronghold, proof no bully could fence our spirit. As stars gleamed, I knew Willow Ridge would always stand bold, wild, and free.